Alright, hey, this is Sammy Hagar, the Red Rocker, coming to you live today. And I want to tell you that, okay, I'm not really Sammy Hagar. My name's Tommy Mary, and although I am wearing red, there's a lot of red going on here today, and I'm a rocker. So let me tell you what we're doing today. I have a friend named Dino who requested a lesson on Sammy Hagar-Style. Now, Dino's an up-and-coming singer, and he sounds a lot like Hagar, so he wants to know a little bit more about the roots. So not only today, my friends, am I going to teach you a few Sammy guitar riffs, and yes, Sammy does play pretty good lead guitar, but I'm also going to give you some history in a fun way that's going to completely blow your mind. At the end of the lesson, hang on, and I'm going to give you a bonus tip that's going to change the way you learn music for the rest of your life and makes it a lot of fun too. So let's get into it with a little jamming. All right, now let's take a look at the roots of Sammy Hagar. Let's back up a little bit. After Sammy finished playing with Montrose, he had his original band and he was out on the road right away. In 1978, this is him playing at Winterland, playing Bad Motor Scooter, and he's playing some pretty killer lead right there. Now just know this, Gary Peel has been the lead guitarist that played most of the leads on all of Sammy's albums. But Sammy has played a few key leads, like the one for Eagles Fly and the one that you're about to watch right now. Check it out. Wow, was that cool or what? We're going to take a look at each of these riffs right now. And this isn't a guitar lesson where I'm trying to show you every single riff or you're learning the solo. This is a lesson where I want you to understand the body of the artist, the motivation of the artist. So let me play along with some of the riffs that you just heard live, and then we'll talk about each riff.
And here's a quick word from our sponsor. If you like today's lesson, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And if you don't like it, well, thanks.
First of all, right off the top, Sammy Hagar does a lot of this. You can hear Angus does it too. If you're an A, and you bar across it, on the B string, the G string, the D string. If you're in D, you can find it here. And Sammy does that in all the solos. So now I'm going to show you the riff he's doing a lot of in this live video. And it goes like this. So I'm on the 10th fret between the E string and the B string. And he plays the note, 13th fret on the B string, 10th fret on the E string, 13th fret on the E string, and then he does a pull-off. You can see my website, tommymary.com, for some lessons on pull-offs if you don't know what those are already. So, unlike a lot of guitarists who play the riff like this, Sammy starts it backwards and plays it this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. So faster it sounds like this. He also plays it here. It's weird because if I was going to play the riff, I think I'd do something like this. The bend, it has a little bit of a Lynyrd Skynyrd flavor to it, right? But the bend gives you a little pause. Sammy doesn't do that. The pause is built into his riff, which makes it sound awkward in a way, but pretty rockin' in another way. Sammy Hagar lives a wild, loose, reckless, fun, laid-back lifestyle. And he approaches guitar in the same way. He just doesn't do it the way everybody else does it at all. He also does bends. So I'm bending on the 13th fret to the 15th fret. And then I'm hitting on the E string the 13th fret. It's probably best to use your third finger and your fourth finger. That way you can go. And you're going to want to do that. Trust me. So here's a clip of me playing along to these Sammy riffs I just discussed. And I'm not going to play it exactly the way Sammy did it on the video. I'm going to do my own thing, but it shows you how they incorporate. So check it out. So here is today's big secret I wanted to tell you about that should change your life if you think about it. Sammy Hagar's biggest influences were Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, and Eric Clapton. Of course, how could I forget Eric Clapton? And the funny thing about Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page was their influences were B.B. King, Muddy Waters, and Django Reinhardt. So there's an important lesson there's a seed in here that I want you to really pay attention. Set down your phone, unless you're using your phone to watch this lesson, of course. And really think about this, because if you want to know about an artist, a performer, drummer, singer, xylophone player, whoever, find out who their influences are. Study them, listen to them, then find out who those people were influenced by. It should come as no surprise that Jerry Lee Lewis, my friends, Elvis Presley's, nor Metallica, they didn't invent rock and roll. It was invented by African Americans, and some of these classic old blues guitarists are the heart of everything that's played in metal, in country, in punk. We owe such a great debt in so many ways to African Americans, but especially to the culture that they created with the blues and early rock and roll. So you've got to explore some of these things. Now, I'm going to give you a little tip down below. I'm going to have a link to these sites, because when Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, and Jeff Beck all played in a band called the Yardbirds, did you know that? You may know it. Listen to some of the Yardbird stuff, and then also listen to other bands they played in. You know, Eric Clapton played in Cream. And if you listen to Cream, I think there was an album called Disraeli Gears, and they have Strange Brew and some other odd songs. If you listen to that, you can hear some of Sammy's riffs. Now let's talk about Django Reinhardt for a minute, who was Jeff Beck's biggest influence. Django was in a fire and he only had a couple fingers that worked, and yet he was shredding. And I'm talking about shredding with 2 fingers on an acoustic guitar. You gotta look that up. You look up the lineage of the people who impress you, who inspire you. You'll find out who inspired them, and then try to take it one step further. You will find for certain that if you love an artist and you start studying who impressed them and then who impressed them, you will learn lineage. You will learn the pedigree. And lineage is described as this: a sequence or species, each of which is considered to have evolved from its predecessor. Wow. Good one, right? Lineage is the key word for today. So study your lineage, my friends, and you'll find out the guitars that impress you were impressed upon by another guitarist. And this goes on down the line. Hopefully I can be the guitar player that impresses you today to find out more about Eric Clapton, to find out more about Jimmy Page, Jeff Beck, who inspired them, Muddy Waters. Let's just B.B. King. Let's just keep going down the family tree backwards. You will find the heart of rock. You will find the heart of metal. You'll find the heart of country, punk, you name it, it's there. And my friends, that's today's lesson. Keep practicing. We'll see you on next lesson.